September 9th, 1997.
The corner was all I knew. That's all I grew up knowing.
It is a place that dominates lives.
These kids are born into the corner. They're living it every day. Every aspect of their lives is touched by it.
And often devours them.
You gotta understand, if you don't leave here, if you don't get off of this corner here, you'll continue to die. This is death.
You can see the deterioration of the generations right there. I mean, my father's generation, they was like the baby boomers, and my generation is Generation X, and the generation under me, good Lord, is Generation Hopeless.
Tonight, The Corner, learning what it takes to survive.
This is ABC News Nightline. Substituting for Ted Koppel and reporting from Washington, Forrest Sawyer.
No doubt you've driven through the rough parts of your town, maybe checking to make sure the doors are locked, certainly not stopping. Tonight, you're going to meet two men who did stop on a dangerous street corner in the toughest part of West Baltimore and stayed an entire year. A retired Baltimore homicide cop named Ed Burns on the right, and David Simon, once a Baltimore Sun crime reporter whose book Homicide inspired the NBC TV series. That street corner, much like the ones we've all driven by, became a very personal place for Burns and Simon, and they wrote it all down in a book called The Corner. You come there if you want to buy drugs and add your name to the list of those helping destroy the neighborhood. Or you come to the corner when you're ready to make a stand and try and rebuild your community. Tonight, you'll meet three people trying to do just that. DeAndre McCullough, one-time hustler and drug addict who's fighting to put his life back together. Joe Laney, once a heroin addict, now out of prison, helping drug abusers change their lives. And Ella Thompson, with the city's environmental program for youth, an unswerving advocate for the neighborhood's children. There is, in a very real sense, a battle for this neighborhood's future, which makes this corner ground zero.
Oh God, even right now, help them to look up, to know that they've got to begin to scramble out of the mess that we've gotten ourselves into. You have to believe in it. You have to really involve yourself with it. And just like a person can have a relationship with another person, that's the kind of relationship I had with a corner.
When I was out there, it meant money, it meant sex, it meant drugs, it meant excitement. I mean, it was fun. But now, to me, it means pain, it means death.
The corner teaches you getting over as a way of life. Whatever you can do, whatever move you can make to get something for nothing is a good move. It's a Frankenstein. It's something that we built because we weren't paying attention. And now it has grown, and it claims so much. It destroys so much.
You're gonna die, my brother.
This thing is working 24 hours a day. This is an entity.
If he could go outside right now and see a 5-year-old and ask them about the drug in the area, they could tell you more than I could.
You have kids 9, 10, and 11 involved with packages, whereas before it might have been 12, 13, 14. It's stepping down, stepping down, and stepping down. What else in their lives shows up every day, pays out a little bit of money, moves a little bit of product, actually exists as an economic engine?
It was fun for a while, but once I got about 12 or 13, that's when I started getting caught up like everybody else do. Started smoking the weed, started carrying the guns.
I think the unique thing about DeAndre was that he was the most individualistic of the boys. DeAndre was one of the smartest kids we ran into, but he was also a product of this process, and you could see where DeAndre was going. And it gives you an idea how powerful the corner is, because even a kid like DeAndre, who is smart,
who is not that much affected by peer pressure. You can see him being dragged along step by step.
When DeAndre's cousin Dinky got killed, I think that was probably the lowest point for him personally. It was the kid he was closest to, the kid he trusted the most, the kid who mattered the most to him in that whole crew.
They were more than cousins, they were brothers. And when Dinky got killed, DeAndre had to avenge it.
That's when my drug problem got really out of hand. That's when I was robbing people. That's when all the violence mostly started. I mean, I've done a lot of things I'm not proud of on that situation. I'm not blaming his death on the things that I did, but it eased my mind to see someone in as much pain as I was in. I mean, I got a kick out of making people cry because that's how I felt on the inside.
I think DeAndre intellectually has seen that he's running a dead end against the corner, and that he's now decided, again, intellectually, to make a change. But I don't know if it carries much past that. It takes a long time to change the process of thinking. DeAndre is superbly adapted to one world, and that world is the world of the corner. And it took years and years and years for him to hone his abilities for that world.
He has to learn the humility that is not only not required on the corner, but is dangerous on the corner. Turning the other cheek on the corner will get you hurt. But turning the other cheek when you're working a straight job is what you have to do when you got a boss.
You come in the house of the Lord, he can get you up off that corner.
Of course, I'm thinking differently now than when I was out there, because the corner was all I knew. That's all I grew up knowing, but now it's something different for me now. I mean, the corner has nothing to offer me now, nothing that I didn't already get into anyway. So, that's what the corner is.
I don't think too many young men, 19, 20 years old, start out on this road. Usually this road comes about 35, 45 years old when you're broken down and you just can't hustle anymore. For him to take this step at this time shows you what kind of kid he really is. It shows you he's got the moxie, he's going to chance it. Whether or not he makes it, I don't know. The corner is very powerful.
Hold on the side, yeah. Came out of the oven.
He has a lot of people rooting for him, which somebody other than DeAndre doesn't have. But even all the rooting in the world, the cheering, the helping, won't get him over. I mean, it's going to be him who gets himself over. Not David, not me, not anybody else. It'll be DeAndre.
Some people use God as their higher power, you know, as far as getting to church, but I use my kids as my higher power. And I know if I'm not there for them, they're going to turn out like I did. So I just do my best and be the best person I can, and hopefully things will work out.
This is ABC News Nightline, brought to you by Tums.
Why does Tums control acid faster than Pepsid AC? Because they work on your stomach acid in totally different ways. Tums Calcium naturally, rapidly neutralizes acid so it works fast. Pepsid AC's famotidine has to travel through your bloodstream, so it takes at least 40 minutes to block natural acid production. So why does Tums work on acid faster and cost less, and Pepsid AC works slower and costs more?
Good question.
Tums. This is your game. Good luck.
From the director of Seven.
Why are you following me?
The game is a masterpiece.
This is all the game.
Michael Douglas is superb.
Who did this to me?
The power performance of his career.
Why?
Wow, the thrill ride of the 90s.
I paid him more to make it stop.
Totally unique. The game will blow your mind. Michael Douglas, Sean Penn. The Game, rated R. Starts Friday in theaters everywhere.
Tomorrow, you know it's wrong to drive drunk, but have you ever driven tired? More truckers do than you know, and it's terribly frightening. Watch ABC's World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Hey, we're not making any speeches, not kissing any babies, but it's a heck of a campaign. Hi, folks, I'm Dave Wolford.
And I'm Ava Harvey at Rivergate Toyota in Madison.
Look, we're talking about Campaign 97, folks, and that simply means we got super closeout prices on every 97 car, truck, and van in our giant inventory. And hey, with the construction going on, we really need to sell some cars.
You're right, Dan. Choose America's #1 car, a new Camry LE like this one, for only $199 a month.
Or grab a rugged new 4-wheeler like this one, folks, and pay just $299 a month.
That's Rivergate Toyota, 1520 North Gallatin Road.
Hey, you come and see it.
Best for Feet and ASICS give you 3 reasons to run in this week. A good reason. The ASICS Gel 126 is loaded with features for a lightweight, comfortable cushioning shoe. A better reason. The ASICS Gel GT 2020 with better stability for the runner needing extra support. The best reason. The ultimate ASICS running shoe, the Gel Kayano. ASICS best shoe for comfort and stability all in one. For the latest in high-performance running technology, get back to the ASICS. This week at Just for Feet, where the 13th pair is free.
There's nothing here to stop for unless you in the drugs. There's nothing else, or you got somebody in the neighborhood that's been living around here. But other than that, there's nothing else around here. Nothing.
I'm under the opinion that those under 19 will not make it to 50.
They don't care if they die. They don't care if they go to jail. I mean, you get more respect for coming out of jail than finishing school.
These kids are born into the crime. They're living it every day. Every aspect of their lives is touched by it. From the media, which enhances it, to the street. The street is alive with this.
These people are not foolish. They sense what is the truth, that the economy of this country has passed them by, that West Baltimore is as isolated as some sort of third world country when it comes to genuine economic imperative, and that the only thing that still works on these corners is the sale and the use of drugs.
Put it back there. Yes. Where? Okay, what do we do when we see a drug top? First thing you did was right. You called me and told me.
Ella Thompson is more than Christian, and I mean that in the best sense. She has given to this neighborhood long after the idea of giving to this neighborhood would seem ridiculous to most people.
We get some gloves and get it up and put it in place.
Right. Do we ever touch it with our hands?
No.
Okay.
She has to live on small victories. She can't look towards touching lives and have them immediately transform themselves. She only has those kids at the rec center. Even when she was the full-time head of the rec center, she only had them 3 hours on a weekday. Then they went back to the same nightmare.
I keep myself straight because I cannot tell them, to do something, and I'm not doing it myself. So every time I'm in their presence, I always try to re-emphasize something positive to them, just give them a hug.
Look, it's out of luck.
All right, that has a long route. I love the challenge because I know that I can win, and I know they can win. These kids need a chance, they deserve a chance to win, and they want that chance. Now, if these kids didn't want that chance, I don't think I would be down here, but I know they want it. They tell me, I see it in their faces, so, I know they want to win, and I do believe they can.
You've got kids basically raising themselves, and for them, Ella may be the only socializing influence in their lives on a day-to-day basis, or, the handful of people who are like her. I can't think of one who's truly like her. In the suburbs, I think you've got a whole support network for children, and the idea of an Ella is not so implausible. But down here, she's isolated and she's rare, and the kids very much respond to that.
The biggest challenge for this community to help get it straightened out is to get positive people in here. Really, for one thing, they're trying to close the recreation centers, they're trying to close the libraries, and the kids don't have any place to go.
We're running a Holocaust in slow motion here. It's been going on since the 60s maybe in the cities, and it's just grinding and grinding and grinding. And we're losing generation after generation, and they're getting farther and farther apart. And at some point, because they feed off the larger system for their drugs. At some point, the larger society is going to get fed up with it. And then what do we do? The corner's thriving. The corner is bigger now than it ever was. It's taking in recruits constantly. And if our economy ever dips even slightly, I mean, the numbers will swell. Because the corner can take as many people as you throw at it. As many people as you don't want in this society, the corner will take them.
Yes, but I'm pushing right back, harder than they are. And so you just keep on pushing, and eventually they will get the message. And I'm not going to let them have the kids. I'm not going to let them have them. And y'all know I'm not going to let y'all go out to the streets. I'm not going to let you go. I'm going to be always there for you if I'm here, if I'm not here. Some of you, most of you have my phone. Call me at home. And I will be here to answer any questions that you all might have. You want to talk to me about anything, I'll be right here. I believe that this generation can be the ones to break that cycle because they can see what it did to their grandparents and their parents. And they need to know that they do not have to go that route. I want hugs for my baby. If I can get 1 or 2 of the 10 out, now I think I've done something, you know. I think I made a difference. Come on, children, children. And maybe those 2 that I got can come and get the other 8. See now, don't that little part look better that we did?
Get a tough case of athlete's foot, and you're benched. You get that itching, the cracking, the burning. And that's when you want a medicine that acts tough. Boom! Tough Actin Tenactin. It cures even tough cases of athlete's foot. Get Tough Actin Tenactin.
What causes denture odor? Get close and you'll see. Germs. Introducing Efferdent Plus with Fresh Burst Listerine ingredients. It kills odor-causing germs. So you can get this close. New Minty Efferdent Plus. Kill the germs, kill the odor.
To you, it looks like this. To a car thief, it looks like this. And to our Ford Motor Company engineers, it looks like one of the most powerful anti-theft devices ever. Only this key sends an electronic code to the engine before it will ever start. So it looks like your new Mercury Sable will be just where you parked it. Ford. Quality is job one.
Coming up, 58% of women polled said there was not enough coverage of Princess Di's death.
I'm a woman, okay? Is that so bad?
Politically Incorrect, coming up on ABC Late Night.
Oh yeah, you're an adult. We're impressed. Always doing those grown-up things, eating those grown-up cereals. Well, here's a whole grown-up thing that's news to you. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Who says it's for kids? You like cinnamon sugar, right? So hey, that's Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Cinnamon sugar swirled all over toasty little squares of wheat and rice. Pretty darn good, huh? Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Come on, enjoy yourself. It's the adult thing to do.
I'm Reba McIntyre, recognizing Educators Credit Union, a company that's making a difference in Middle Tennessee through the Schools Now program.
I'm Sarah Wood, president of Educators Credit Union. We're committed to serving our members and our community. That's why we're a Schools Now sponsor. You can be a sponsor too by purchasing a Schools Now booklet. The booklet saves you money and helps build a strong educational foundation for our children. Support Schools Now and help create a bright future for Middle Tennessee children.
Skechers.
Skechers. It's the S.
This is the new TV Guide Fall Preview issue. It's our biggest, boldest, and best fall preview yet, because only TV Guide can bring you the most comprehensive coverage of this season's hot new shows and stars. It's on sale now, so don't miss it. Get inside TV Guide.
I got a habit. I got an addiction, a disease, and I know it. That's just how you have to live. You never know what you're going to do tomorrow. You just deal with the days as they come.
I could just remember on a day like today, just being stuck out here on this corner. Really no real destination, nothing occupying my mind but a shot of drugs.
Well, I think that in meeting Joe Laney, you meet somebody who is, he's had a hero's adventure. He's been able to move from the addict to a very positive, vital man.
There were still a ton of Joe Laney stories lying around in the street. All you had to do was pick them up.
I know how painful it is to be stuck right here. I mean, just stuck. You know, you want to go home, you want to go to the next corner, but you're scared if you leave here, you're going to miss something. So you stay. It can rain, it can snow, whatever the weather might be, still you here. And so a person can ride by and look at me and say, well, why don't he going out of the rain? Why is he standing out there? Don't he realize it's cold? But hey, this is what was happening for me. Nothing reinforces change here. Nothing. All this breeze is what it breeds. Nobody's going to encourage nobody here to do no more than what they do here. And so you got to understand, if you don't leave here, if you don't get off of this corner here, you will continue to die. This is death.
The thing that is amazing to me is that there are so many people who make this transition, but our society doesn't plug into these people. They sort of get lost in low-paying jobs and small ways of being. And yet they have so much strength and so much knowledge about this particular problem, but they're not harnessed.
I spent a lot of time there. I spent 22 years there. Chasing, running behind illusions. Not only did I buy into the lie, I became the lie. And I lived the lie. If I don't believe nothing else about me, I do know, and I believe this much. God worked in my life. That plain, it was that simple. Everybody who ends up here is not a casualty. We need sometimes to focus more on the people who was here and left here than to keep looking at the people here. Because drugs are going to be here. These corners are going to be here. So when we stand here and say, look, we need help here, see, everybody should want to get involved, because what's happening here eventually, if we don't check it here, this is like cancer. It spreads, man. And any disease that you don't treat, man, it's going to get worse. They want us to believe that everything that happens here only happens with the people who live here. That's a lie. People come from other places, do what they do here, then go back and sit back and say, oh, I don't do that. But they do.
It's all the divisions that have been put up that I think are the real cause for hopelessness. That people feel like you can ride through a neighborhood like this if you take a wrong turn and lock your car door and keep going, and that's the end of the story. It's not the end of the story. And writing off this many people, writing them out of the economy, writing them out of the social framework, is going to cost us.
You can play hide and seek with it. You can. And it'll work for a while. But then one day, it just get a hold on you. Say, come on. Just come on out of here. Come on. No, come on down here. I need you on that corner, on the front line. Get out there. Oh, but I had a job, and I got a degree, and it don't respect none of that. Just get on out here. Now you're going to serve me. I come here, man, mainly because I have to. I have a responsibility. I do. I do have a responsibility, you know. So you just don't come up, out of that hole I was in, and you come up out of it and it's like, that's it. So you have some responsibilities. And my responsibility is to let anybody who want to open up their eyes and see, or just want to hear or listen, know that it's another way. You know, I'm living a little better. I'm thinking a little better. I talk a little better. I relate to people a little better.
The only way to hope for West Baltimore and for places like it is that the society at large realize that we are ultimately connected, that no matter how many subdivisions out you move, the problems of West Baltimore are the problems of the region, and the problems of the region are essentially national problems, and that we are all part of the same national experience.
So we have to understand what the corner is. We have to understand what it does for people, and then by understanding it, and if we want these people to come back across, then we can start changing things. But you got to understand the enemy first.
I'm living proof that there's life after drugs and alcohol and spending 3/4 of their life on the street corner. I'm proof. And that's all, and that's the truth. And I can stand on that. Come on, man. There you go. Hey, Dan. Thanks, man. You know, because I know it.
One corner of West Baltimore, Maryland. Our thanks to DeAndre McCullough, Joe Laney, and Ella Thompson for sharing some of their neighborhood with us. I'll be back in a moment.
Remember, Mr. Pearson, once you enter the witness protection program, you'll disappear. Here's your new passport, driver's license, and keys. New house, new car. Mr. Simons.
Happy trails to you until
Nice car.
again. Yeah. Happy trails to you.
He's not going to make it, is he?
Problem. Two women have 20 minutes to catch the same train. But first, they must run a few errands. If woman A uses her ATM card with the MasterCard logo, and woman B still writes checks, who will catch the train? If you answered woman A, you're right. Now use your debit MasterCard. Withdraws directly from your checking account. Debit MasterCard accepted everywhere you see MasterCard.
Come on, ice cream for everyone.
Oh, none for me, thanks.
Why?
Dairy foods do a number on my stomach.
You're lactose intolerant?
Huh? You know, gas, bloating. I get it too, but it's no problem anymore. Try this.
Lactaid Ultra. One little caplet just before eating lets you digest dairy foods easily and naturally.
Next time, let's go for milkshakes.
With a little Lactaid Ultra on the side.
Lactaid Ultra. Go on, enjoy dairy again. For real milk that's easier to digest, try Lactaid milk.
In 20 years, there'll be no cars, no money, and sex will be with machines.
So, in other words, for you, almost nothing will change.
Greg's pants. He's not in them right now.
2 weeks from Wednesday, it's Spin City. Dharma and Greg, Drew Carey, and Ellen. If it's a good time you're looking for, check out ABC Wednesdays.
Tomorrow on Good Morning America, it's being called the most extraordinary surrogacy case ever. Why is a 2-year-old girl with 2 living parents considered parentless? That's our report for tonight. I'm Forrest Sawyer in Washington. For all of us here at ABC News, good night.
Nightline has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source. ABC News, now always on.
What does it take to become a household name? A perfect score. The World Gymnastics Championships, Thursday night on ABC.
Go inside the Ramsey house. See the scene of the crime. Plus, John Bonet's Doctor Talks. 27 medical visits in 3 years. A primetime exclusive Wednesday.
Whether you're this type of fan or this type of fan, the place for you on Monday night is Planet Hollywood. It's Monday Night Live with Jeff Fisher. Come to Planet Hollywood in person to see the show live. It's absolutely free. Meet the coach and the players. See all the action. Feel the excitement. It's like getting front row tickets to the game for free. This is your chance to cheer for your Tennessee Oilers on live TV. Monday Night Live with Jeff Fisher. Live from Planet Hollywood. Mondays at 7 on News 2.
Introducing Gentine Ice. Frosty outside.